Welcome to the 14th episode of the Reframe podcast. In this episode, we discuss the importance of intellectual property and why you need to protect it as much as any other asset, even if you're a startup or a social media influencer. Our guest today, Dr. Sanjdar Muminov from Dubai Copyright Office, is an international IP expert with over 22 years of experience in various IP-related aspects. He is recognized as one of the top 5 IP experts in the world, so I'm sure there's tremendous value here. Dubai Copyright Office is also the sponsor of this episode, so let's get into it after a brief message from them. Whether you're an established business, a startup, or even a social media influencer, you need to protect your intellectual property. Dubai Copyright Office is one of the leading service providers in the MENA region in the field of intellectual property. They provide comprehensive advisory services related to intellectual property strategies for protecting business assets as well as getting additional financial benefits out of it. The company provides turnkey solutions from the collection of primary documents to delivery of the certificate. Start protecting your most important asset today. Dubai Copyright Office is giving you a flat 5% discount if you use the promo code REFRAME2020. In addition, you also get free consultation related to your business. www.dubaicopyright.ae, promo code REFRAME2020.
So this is more of an education and awareness session that we want to do around intellectual property, which is a very sensitive topic I think in every industry, it applies in every industry, right?
Correct.
So how about we start off with a basic awareness. What is it and why should I care about it?
Mm-hmm. So there are two general definitions of intellectual property. First, ordinary, legally. Legally, it's any kind of result of intellectual activity which is registered and protected with IP certificate.
Okay.
But this is legal. Second definition is business. In business, we mean that intellectual property it's new opportunity to receive new type of benefits, new type of financial benefits, and new source of income.
For an existing company?
For existing company.
All right.
Because any company who works more than 1 year, they have already some type of intellectual property. At least brand, at least customer list, at least website. And
I think a lot of people are also confused on how do we terminology, what does it mean in terms of intellectual property. So is it just the content that I create, or also, or basically it doesn't include my office space, my furniture, my investments and things like that. It includes basically my brand and the content and what I've created with the brand, right?
Yes, correct.
Right.
Intellectual property originally is only intangible assets.
Only
it's not
intangible,
physical
yes,
assets.
Exactly, yeah.
But here is one interesting thing, that way of using tangible assets could be also property. How to using this space. What is the rules? What is the regulations? What is internal documents? This was created to utilize these physical assets.
Okay.
This also intangible assets. Not only the brand, not only the website, also how you manage your business, how you pay the salary, how you prepare your sales materials, your presentation, your marketing tools. All this is intangible assets, and it legally should belong to you.
Right.
As the owner of the company.
Right. So this is owned by usually the entrepreneur or the person who starts the business, or is it owned in the name of the business?
Usually it's depends on the owner.
Okay.
Owner always thinking how to protect its business. But owners not always involved directly in the business.
Yeah.
Businesses is managed by some hired employee. They are not interested to protect business. So if owner will understand that he really want to be properly owner by the documents of his business, he should first identify these items, create the list of IP portfolio. It's very easy. What belongs to you? We all have a list of physical items, our computers, our buildings, real estate, but no one has list of intangible assets.
True.
So we always advising to the owner first create the list, and you will see which type of assets are you using in business, which are most important to be protected. This is the way how to identify, and then he can understand. Okay, I have, for example, customer list. I think everyone have customer list.
Yeah.
But if we check 99% not protected.
That's really interesting because I never thought it goes deep down to that level. So how does it work? If I have my customer list protected, but I keep on, my objective is to keep on adding on my customers.
Yes.
Right. So do I keep on updating my so-called protection certificate or something like that?
No. Protection of customer list could be done through the trade secret.
Okay.
But trade secret, this is a special regime which should be implemented inside the company by the resolution of shareholder and by the decision of top management. After creation of this legal system, inside trade secret, one of the elements could be your customer list. And it should be done only once.
Okay, this is a universal ongoing
course.
list, but it is protected only once.
Yes, but it's only first step.
Sense.
Second step, after registration as IP, you should record this customer list as intangible assets in your financial statements.
Right.
Because right now, all the companies, they're conducting the accounting because it's mandatory due to VAT tax to monitor.
True.
So, and in this balance sheet should be recorded. If your customer list is protected but not recorded, it means that you are not using legally this. So 2 steps. First, protect inside the company is free of charge.
Right.
You can register inside the company trade secret based on your decision.
True.
But it should be done properly. And second, record in accounting. After this, customer list will appear as intangible assets and will be protected and will belong to you as owner legally.
Right. Makes sense. Now that you say all of these, now that you're telling me, I am beginning to think I need to do something about my stuff here with the podcast. Right?
Yes.
So how does this work? I mean, do I need to be worried about at this small level that I'm doing a podcast? Or should I be worried only if I have a huge company like Coca-Cola or Samsung or things like that? Or even if I'm a small-time freelance developer or solution provider, and I have some of my own products that I'm selling online. So is there any scale level where you say that this is the time that you should think about protecting your IP, and this is the time that I should, for example, engage somebody like you or your company and invest in that?
Here first we should see, do you have something what was created and really existing? Or is just your idea?
Let's take my podcast for an example.
Okay, your podcast is existing in internet, correct?
Yes.
So you have some designation tools for your podcast. For example, this is name.
True.
You have a name. Second, do you have logo?
Yes.
You have logo. So 2 items. Third, do you have any digital channel how you make to the public your content? What is a channel?
So podcasts generally are distributed through shared streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts.
Okay, so you have some streaming channel.
Yeah, I have a streaming channel that I don't own that.
No. But based on this platform, you have created special product. These products could belong to you legally. In IP definition, it's called derivative copyright work. Okay. Why derivative? Because it was created based on platform.
Right.
Platform not belongs to you.
Yeah.
But the podcast which was created using this platform belongs to you.
Right.
So you can register, you can be owner right now for the name, for the logo, and for the derivative copyright work. What is your podcast?
Right.
These 3 elements, these are public available items.
Okay.
3 you can register to protect, because if somebody other will register first as an IP certificate, he can block your podcast and you can lose your podcast first. He can also claim against you about the IP rights violation and ask for the reimbursements if some brand was registered previous before.
So can somebody start a podcast with the same name as mine, register the IP?
No need to start podcast.
Okay.
He can only register the brand name of your podcast. That's it.
Oh, and then claim.
Yes, without any business activities. Yes, without any business activities. No need, because for IP holder, no need to conduct the real activity. Only for trademarks, such a requirement existing that you should do real business. For the copyright, no such requirement. This is risk. So first, you can lose your name, you can lose your logo, you can lose your podcast. Very easy if it will not belong to you legally.
I'm scared now. I'm actually scared.
This is public available items. But there are some other items which are internally. For example, how you organize the podcast. Your internal scripts, your internal strategy, your business concept of podcast, your internal customer list. This is internally.
Right.
The second part, you can register inside you as a trade secret. But trade secret could exist only by the legal entity.
True.
You cannot register for the physical person. You need any company. You need a stamp.
Okay.
So if you have something, you can protect. If you don't have, it's not protectable.
Right. Makes sense.
So this is regarding you.
Yeah. So I think we should work on this podcast as well. How to protect this.
Yes.
So, but you've been here, and by the way, before we move on to the next thing, these IP laws are accepted globally as a single standard, or every country has their own standards? If I register my IP here in UAE, for example, is it applicable throughout the world? How does that work?
So generally, legal system in UAE was created based on the international treaties and agreements.
Okay.
But there are local changes, a little adaptation for the current market. But generally, 98% is similar all around the world. Okay. This is about the legal system. But it doesn't mean that all IP which you register here will be recognized worldwide. No.
Okay.
There are three types of intellectual property. First, it's patent and trademarks. For patent and trademarks, you should register in every country separate. For example, if you choose to protect brand name of your podcast through the trademark, you should register trademark first here in UAE. Second, in all other countries where you want to protect your rights.
As well as the logo.
Yes, as well as that. But if you choose the copyright will protect worldwide. So different legal tools, different level of protection. Trademark should be registered in the Ministry of Economy. Copyright should be registered in Copyright Office, usually International Copyright Office.
Right.
So regarding your customer list, it will be protected only in this country. Because it's locally.
Yeah.
Legal entity will register.
But what if I don't want to go local? I want to be international.
If you want to protect international, some additional steps should be done. For example, protection as a database through the copyright and others. So first answer, legal system generally is similar. Second, to protect worldwide, you should choose properly IP tools.
Okay.
Because for some cases, trademark is good. What is the benefit of the trademark in front of copyright? With trademark registration, you will have the free support from the government in case of violation. If you register your name of podcast as a trademark and you see some infringements, you can attract Ministry of Economy. They will protect you first in the initial stage free of charge, and then go to the court. Okay. If you register copyright will protect you globally, but you will not receive support. You should go direct to the court. This is little differences.
Yeah.
But in generally, it depends on you. If you target only discounts, maybe trademark will be enough. But if you want to, but you're streaming, you are not localized.
Exactly.
You're international. So for you, best solution will be copyright. And copyright protection is available right now in UAE. You can protect within 10 days.
Oh, that's nice.
10 days. Price about 15,000 dirham.
Okay.
So within 10 days.
Is that a recurring cost or a one-time cost?
No, it's one-time payment, and protection will be during your life and 50 years after your death. But I hope you live long time. But after this, also 50 years will be protected. So one-time payment for this period of time, with worldwide. And then you can use as a property. You can put to the company as a founding capital. You can using as a mortgage to receive a bank loans.
Right.
Now it allowed to using the intangible assets as a mortgage to receive bank loans. You can use to receive some investments, and you can ask for in case of defamation, for example, against you also can receive some reimbursement. Right. You can make the valuation of this. It's true assets that can belong to you.
It makes a lot of sense. In your experience, have you seen people sensitive to this information? Or mostly very few?
Yes. What are our specifics? Most 80% of clients coming to us when it's too late. Where they always starting the losing.
Right.
Court case was initiated or claim or for Dubai police or a website was blocked by the Google or you lose the mobile application for then why we are working with our business, our product, but we lost. And then they start understanding that owning of the product legally means that you have IP certificates. Without this, you are not owner.
And in this way, if you're blocked, there is no way to recover.
You will have right to initiate the case based on your blocking only if you have IP certificate. If you don't have IP certificate, you don't have right.
Then I lose my
Absolutely, yes.
my assets.
Yes.
And I lose my clients.
Yes.
And I lose my business.
Yes. This is, it's unfair practice, but it's now developing.
No, I don't think it's, in a way that's unfair to me, but then if I've really infringed somebody else's in property, intellectual property, then I think it's unfair to that person as well.
Legally,
depends.
This depends, but
so maybe somebody wants to do it purposely.
Yes.
No, existing. Not having a business.
No, we have in our industry special unfair competitor who is doing only this. They're studying the project, the channels, mobile application, computer games. They're studying, they're checking registered or not. They fool the activities of these persons existing.
Then they claim.
Yes, we are calling IP hackers. It's like IP hacking. It's a new type of business right now. Here in UAE was one case with one of the biggest insurance companies. I cannot
of course
the name, but this company faced with such problems that a fake account in Facebook was created. They start the sales. This is $1 million dirhams for the insurance policies for other partners. They could not close this fake account because they don't have any IP certificate. They lose huge amount of clients.
Oh my God.
Then we supported because digital is something others. For digital, everything digital is intangible assets.
Yeah. And we talk about cyberbullying and we talk about identity thefts and all, but this is another level.
Yes.
This is you stealing everything from somebody.
Of course. And but if in last years, we see that people want not only protect the items, but also to capitalize, to monetize. For in your case, we touching only one topic, how to protect.
Right.
But we are not discussed about how you can monetize your podcast, how you can receive additional benefits.
Because of registering an IP?
Yes, after registration IP, first step, you can make the evaluation. How much costs your podcast right now? Zero.
I wouldn't know.
Zero. Because if you check any financial statements and you don't have any valuation, it's normal. All podcasts are the same. You should understand properly. But you spend the time. You create the recognition of your podcast.
Yeah.
Correct? You have some subscribers. It should cost something because you spend the time, money. So how to capitalize? This is second big direction in IP industry. And very few lawyers understand this. Because ordinary lawyers, old school, they know how just to protect. This is IP certificate, trademark, copyright, that's it, thank you, bye. But after receiving this, you have only one chance to utilize this in case of infringement. But if there are no infringement, why you are not using as a property, as intellectual property to receive additional money?
True.
One of the way, receiving bank loan. You can receive bank loan using as a mortgage. We have such cases when we're receiving using as a mortgage intellectual property.
Once you have that evaluated.
Yes, this is big that you can provide the license for your partner. For example, some of your partners want to work in other region where you physically you are not located. You can give the license to work under your license and full podcast will be according to your business strategy, according to your concept. And you can give license to Africa, to America, to Australia, work under according to my business model.
Yeah, franchise model.
Model, correct. You can do it also. This is monetizing. How to create money from IP. And in this industry, working very few number of companies because it's something new.
True. So, so your company is around 6 years old or something like that.
In general, I'm working 22 years in IP.
Oh, okay.
So I work in 7 countries. Dubai, UAE was 7 countries when we opening our business, and we are working here 6 years. Correct.
Okay. And you launched your company here 6 years ago.
Yes.
So how's your experience in the past 6 years? One is that you rightly identify the very few people know about what it is and how sensitive it is. But then any lessons that you learned in this 6 years, because this is a very different market.
Correct.
And a new market for you, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So some things that you would want to share out of your learnings out of the past 6 years.
Yeah, United Arab Emirates, absolutely another market. So we have very good experience in Europe, in CIS countries like Russia, Kazakhstan, in Asia countries. But United Arab Emirates, GCC is absolutely others. We have done a lot of mistakes when we started. And maybe I will share with these knowledges to your subscribers. It will be very useful.
That's the idea that people should understand.
What is the first biggest mistake? We start direct sales.
Okay.
It was mistake. No. Better way will be to start work through the partners, through channel partners.
Right.
Because they're existing long period of time, legal law companies. Because when you go directly, after direct contact with clients, our first transaction was after 1 year. 1 year of negotiations, explanation, because we don't have any trust. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Or our experience, our expertise, our status outside GCC, nothing, zero here.
Of course.
Here you should have trust locally. You should prove your competence locally. And we spend 1 year to prove this one. If we will start sales our products to the channel partners, which already have clients, legal, law, accounting, advising, auditors company, it will be much easier for us. This is the first mistake without partners. If anybody will start working in GCC, please look the partners and give the product to the partners.
Right.
It will be more successful way. Also, second, we have started sales products, but not solutions.
Okay.
We go to the company, okay, do you want to protect the brand registration? Very nice product. But why I need this one? Which kind of my business problem will solve with the solution? For this one, we should understand what is kind of business problem existing here in region, what kind of violation, what kind of infringement.
Right.
And we have rescheduled, we have redesigned all our products here. Almost 90% was redesigned and specialized to the market according to the local problems and local solutions. Also, wrong understanding of time frames of the sales. Here's a very long period of time. If usually the sales in outside from GCC is for 1 month, you can multiply by 6. And then you will understand the proper time frame of the transaction. Very long period of time. Also some other mistakes, and one of the mistakes, how we not properly worked with objections.
Okay.
One of the objections was, your service is too expensive for us.
Okay.
For example, registration as a brand, 50,000, too expensive. We start, it's internationally recognized. No. But then we start, sorry, but that you can return this money in your balance sheet, and for you it will be zero cost. When we start properly work with objections, if you pay, for example, you want to register podcast, correct?
Right.
You will spend 50,000 to register, for example, brand of podcast. This is normal situation. For you, it's maybe some expensive. 50,000, I don't know. I don't have any problem right now. Why should I spend the money?
Exactly, yeah.
Yes, but if you will explain, all this 50,000 we will return to you in form of investments. And it will be shown in your IP certificate as investment tangible asset, and you will be owner not only IP, but IP valuation with 15,000 properly confirmed legally. It will exist. It will return to you. So, in your opinion, now it's zero cost.
Yeah.
It was investments in your protection, and this money will be returned to you. This is more interesting.
Makes a lot of difference.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
So the
cost versus investment.
Properly work with objection, this was our mistake. And we also changed a lot of our tools, our understanding of the market. And some not properly estimation about the demand. We are thinking that most demand is brand registration. But here a lot of companies are subsidiary of the foreign. Daughter enterprises are brand not belong to these companies. They're not interested to register. They're mostly interested to register license agreement. How to work properly with foreign partner to avoid any unfair action from a foreign partner. Because what's going on locally? If you bring any product to launch on the market, local partners should proceed a lot of procedure. registration, certification, standard, ESMA, lot of permissions you should receive.
Right.
And after this, when business start growing, your foreign partner can change the local partner. This is a risk for local.
Yeah.
They want to protect how I make the advertising, I put so many efforts, 1-2 years. Now his product is well recognized, high demand on the market, and foreign change to another, and he is losing the market. So how to protect in license agreement interest of local partners?
So if my local partner changes me, I take the IP and everything with me to my next partners, let's suppose.
Yes. This was a demand. For us, it was something new.
Yeah.
So this is 4-5 mistakes which we have done here in UAE, and I think if your subscriber will understand this one, don't make this.
I'm sure, and I'm immediately thinking about the startup scene over here. So Dubai, is very, very active in terms of startups and supporting them a lot. There are many, many accelerators and incubators here. And I also work with a lot of them as guiding them and letting them know. But I had no idea about this IP certification and everything. Have you been working with any of these startup accelerators, or do you plan to? Because I think this is the most important thing that a startup should think about. A lot of things happen when you are a startup and you have a good product in your mind. You're making good traction. The moment you are in the market, you find that there's always somebody else who started after you, or like you said, hacked their way into stealing your idea and your potential market.
Yes.
So I feel that there is a need for awareness. Of course, established businesses are very important, but then even in the startup scene.
Of course. We are working very close with different startup accelerators here. For example, with Dubai Silicon Oasis and some others. So there are two main things with startups. First, usually startups don't have money to pay for IP protection.
Understood,
This is the problem.
But maybe they can have that as a part of their seed investments.
Yes. For this problem, what we can give the advice. So please don't focus on protection of your brand. Because usually budget of startups finance are very limited.
Right.
And when they see the whole IP portfolio of the project, only one mobile application has up to 8 IP items. Brand, icon, source code for iOS, source code for Android, database content, 10, 15 items. I need at least 200,000 dirham to protect. That's why they know I will do nothing. No, just protect the concept. Concept of startup.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Now that you have explained everything, that's what I was thinking. At least start somewhere.
Yes. Concept of it's also not so cheap. Protection of concept, for example, a work of science, will cost about 25,000 dirham. But with this cost, you will protect the main idea of the business. Independent of the brand, independent of the source code, computer. This is focus and try to find money to protect concept. This is our advice. Because and during the protection, when you will apply for registration, the registered body will conduct the search for uniqueness. And you will receive feedback. Existing some kind of activities in some kind of registration or not. Because if you will start startup which already exists and protected, for example, by Microsoft, they will kill you after you will start the business because they're very, very strong. And you don't know which area, which direction in business are protected right now. So during the protection, first you will protect the business concept and you will receive feedback what exists right now, not to violate, not to receive claims in future. This is first. And second thing with startups, they don't understand that they capitalize all the cost during the whole life of startups. Are you spending cash? Are you spending payments? Capitalize. This capitalization will help you to prove the value of a startup. Because when you come to investor for receiving the money, investor will ask, okay, how much you cost? I will give for you, for example, 1 million dirham. What is your valuation? Startup, I have very nice idea. We have a team, we have project, we have potential clients. Okay. But in fact, what is the value of this? What is the value of a project? And if you will conduct the capitalization from the first day of startup, you spend 100 dirham, capitalize. You pay for the hosting, for the domain, capitalize.
Yeah.
This will help you to show to the investors that you know how to manage the finance. This capitalization, two targets. First, you will prove that your experience with finance management, every dirham is calculated. It will give the trust from investor to you. And second, it will increase the real value. Sorry, at least I'm cost 200,000 because during 2 or 3 years I spent this money. That's all my costs. So first, focus on protection of business concept, only one. No need to protect brand, customers. It will take long time and you will not have sufficient fund for this.
Right.
Protect business. And second, capitalize, record properly. Receive consultation how to conduct this capitalization books costs about 10,000 dirham. Pay one time for consulting, receive these templates and make the records on everyday basis. It will help you. This is to advise for startup.
Okay. And have you ever come across, I'm sure you would have, scenarios where a long time established corporate with a lot of customer base, product across different regions, big market, got sued for IP infringement? And then what are the sort of ways that they can, somehow salvage a little bit of it?
Yes, one of the cases here, one Arabian bank here in GCC was top 25 banks in GCC.
Okay.
Very huge amounts of money. And they lost the mobile application due to unfair registration. One Chinese company registered IP rights for mobile banking in iOS for Apple devices and in Android. And after claiming, this mobile banking was blocked and removed. More than 70,000 clients in one day, they lose the mobile banking.
Wow.
It was huge impact.
Of course.
And they're asking for reimbursement. And this bank, they're asking $1 million for mobile application and $1 million for domain name. They also take the domain name using the IP certificate. And remove from Google search, from Google Maps, they remove absolutely. They're asking $1 million for mobile application, and bank paid to this Chinese IP hackers $1 million to recover mobile application. But for domain name, they moved to another domain. Until today, domain name not belongs to the bank. They moved to another.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure that domain name would have been much more consistent with their business.
Of course. And what was this domain name? What is the general misunderstanding? What is mispresentation? People thinking, if I'm paying for domain name, I'm owner of the domain name. No, you are not owner. You are like tenant. You take for the rent.
Yeah.
But you have right to be landlord of the domain. If you register a domain as an IP property, this domain will belong to you for all time. And for example, if after some period of time you forget to pay for renew, and somebody other will take your domain, but with IP certificate, you can show to register of domain within 24 hours, he will return to you. Mandatory.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because it will be your property. With domain name, a lot of mistakes. And also some social media accounts.
So domain registrars are also bound by IP laws.
Yes, of course. Social media accounts. Social media accounts right now is one of the main clients generating asset.
Yeah.
Yes, the post,
the influencers.
Influencers. But and if you ask ordinary lawyer, I very like lawyers, but usually they are not experienced with IP in digital IP. They will say to you, how you can make your Instagram profile your property. It belongs to Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn profile.
I would think that, though.
Yes, or it's not. No. Platform belongs to the Facebook or to Instagram. But this content, this brand belongs to you because it was created by you. And you can protect as a composite copyright work and this subdomain name as a derivative copyright work. Legally it's existing, but very few people know this one. Big corporations know because they have very high qualified staff of IP department. Only Microsoft, 70%, 70. So high qualified IP expert working in one department. Only with IP issues. They're very high. Expensive. It's for small and medium enterprises. These technologies, these techniques of IP tools are unavailable. And what we are trying to do through your podcast and others to share the knowledge. Registered social account as IP is allowed by the law. You can do it. And if you will be owner, you can use this property.
No, this is great value. This is a great information. And I think you rightly said there's a lot of awareness required for this in all elements, be it startup or be it established companies or social media. By law, UAE also has separate license for UAE for social media influencers.
Correct.
So at that point in time, I think it is, because influencers are investing in their licensing.
Yes.
And that's an annual license, if I'm correct. And I think it makes sense to invest along when you are registering yourself as an influencer. I think it makes a lot of sense to spend and protect your IP.
Yes. And what is good with copyright? That with copyright, no need to have any company. For example, you as owner of podcast, or your podcast, your brand, logo, your streaming service, you can register on your personal name as a physical person. No need to have any company. So you can register first and you can capitalize. And you can utilize also from your name. You as a physical person can give license, you can receive the bank loans using this intangible assets. This is good because digital is copyright. It's very flexible.
But I keep on thinking, going back to that thought, that I think most of the people, other than the awareness part, is that maybe they would wait for some kind of traction with their social media account before getting into the point of investing. So why wouldn't I want to invest in my IP right now? Is because I don't see enough traction and I don't see myself worthwhile of being hacked, for example.
Yes, correct.
The moment I start making some money out of it, I would maybe keep this as a priority, which people don't because of lack of awareness. But then I should keep it as a priority. Okay, I'm now starting to generate some good funds out of it. Best to save myself now, then be sorry later on, and then, make this a priority expense.
Yes.
But even in that scenario, when we talk about awareness for corporates, of course, that is lacking. And I think it would lack multiple times more with social media influencers. We have very few globally recognized media influencers from UAE. And that's mainly because it's relatively new here. The laws are relatively new here. There's limited traction. But then even to those, I don't think this is being promoted as maybe by the government, for example. Because the government wants to protect the influencers. And that's why they're licensed.
Yes. License, this is permission from government to conduct activity, to receive money, to be recognized.
Yeah, to convert it into a business.
As business type, yes. Yeah. But what is here, you just touched the one crucial point here about the government position to social media account protection and all our digital assets. Government has monopoly right only in terms of trademark and patent. So if you want to protect as a trademark, you should go to the government. There are no other option. Or if you want to receive patent for any invention, you also should go to the government. But with digital, with copyright, there are no mandatory registration.
Okay.
It's not responsibility of the government to protect the copyright. It's optional. You can register or you cannot register. So what have done government? Government signed the Berne Convention on Copyright and legally create the framework for the businessman. Okay. Now it's responsible for businessmen to utilize using or not using these IP tools, which are legally existing. Okay. So it's question also about the awareness of the businessman about this issue.
And that's where you come in. You are trying to build that awareness.
Yes.
You usually, where can we find you? You're usually doing speaking sessions, or you have maybe a blog or something?
Yes, we have our website, dubaicopyright.ae. You can visit website. We trying to provide initial all the consultants free of charge. So we are available by LinkedIn, by Facebook profile, and we are sharing not only about the cases, not only about the knowledge, also about the trends, what's happening, what's going right now in our IP industry. If you want, I can show to you two or three the last trends in our industry also.
Yes, I would love to know more about it. Yeah.
So one of the last trends is be owner of the product, not of the company. Because right now, all products, technologies, websites, inventions are registered on the company name. But what is the problem? If company will be closed or license will be not renewed, you will lose everything in one day.
Right.
This new type of risks. And business finds a solution how to protect. You can be directly owner of your podcast or brand or product or technology or services, and then give by the license this product for the company for commercial using.
Oh, okay. So even if I shut down my company,
yes, you can give license to another company. This is trend. And if you check, for example, the Facebook as a service belongs to the physical person.
Oh.
And Facebook as a company using by the license agreement. And a lot of companies, if we check who owns the product, you will see a very interesting thing. Because protection of the physical person is high level of protection. You can cancel the IP certificate which belongs to the IP, which belongs to the physical person only in case if you will find any other IP certificate with date before this one. There are no other reason. Or in case if you kill this person, at least 50 years will protection valid.
Right.
So killing
so it doesn't work like insurance. There's a next of kin or something.
Yes. So protection of physical person is the best protection.
Okay.
Second trend, IP means money. Previous last maybe 30 years or 20 years, businessmen were considering IP as a way how to protect my business, how to protect my brand, how to protect my client database. But last 2 years, we received new requests. I have a lot of IP now. What is registered? How can you utilize? How you can monetize? How can receive bank loans? How you can receive investment? How I can receive some additional benefits, license agreement, royalty payment? Please teach us. Please explain to us.
It's similar to how goodwill is evaluated.
Yes, of course. This is the second trend. And in last days also, a lot of clients asking about the partnership. Because when you start partnership, usually some local or some there are different situations could happen. And IP tools can provide the properly relationship background with legal protection independent of the company status. So we are calling this smart partnership. So using IP tools, you can...
That's also on the owner level?
Yes.
Okay.
So there are a lot of benefits from IP, and if your subscribers or someone wants, they can ask to us, we can share absolutely.
Yes, thank you very much. In fact, I would love, especially the startups and other listeners that are listening, to consider this as part of their main setup cost, I would say. Yes. Build it into your setup cost.
Of course.
But yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Sanjdar. It was great to have you, and you've opened my eyes to a lot of new things.
Yes, and let me just know one thing.
Sure.
You said about the cost.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of times that people, it's very expensive to do business in Dubai. Very expensive. We should pay everywhere. Are you agree with me that some expensive to do business in Dubai? Generally,
now
yes.
It's so easy.
Now easy, but from the cost point of view, it's little costly.
Compared to other countries, but still, I wouldn't call it 100% costly. Depends on the kind of business that you're doing.
But we are listening every day of salary,
we do listen,
insurance. Yeah. But government also understand this problem. A government creates a solution that you can return this cost in form of capitalization, and you can convert in your balance sheet this cost. You can convert as a value of a business. Legally, you can do it. Don't consider it as a cost. Record as an investment and use this one. So government support.
Yeah, that solves a lot of problems.
Yes.
And a lot of misconceptions about costly business and all of those things. Yeah, that means the government is, of course, in the favor of protecting the business owner.
Yes. And that's why the reason why Dubai joined to the international financial accounting standards. Based on these standards, you can capitalize your cost to the intangible asset and increase the valuation.
Right.
Legally existing possibilities, but very few knowledge on the market how to do it properly.
Luckily, you're here, and your company provides consultancy for all of these items.
Yes, we provide
an end-to-end execution, registration.
Correct. From registration, consulting, monetization, we provide full range of services in IP.
I'm sure. So thank you very much. I mean, I had a great time, and I think a lot of my listeners will take heed from it. I am certainly thinking about my podcast now.
Thank you also for your job. Thank you for having me.
It was great to have you. And so we can find you on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Okay. Your company,
Dubai Copyright
Dubai
Office.
Copyright.
Dubai Copyright Office.
Dubai Copyright Office dot
Yes.
com or dot .ae?
Dubai Copyright.ae.
Dubai Copyright.ae. All right.
It's our main website.
All
Yes.
right. And your LinkedIn.
Yes, correct.
All right. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
time. And I wish you all the best. See you soon, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.